All is good. Obviously, we'll get to golf and Fisher and the actual stuff on the field. I know you're out there, though. Logistically, how is it, where the practice facility is? Obviously, traffic's a mess, but where most of the players live, logistically, is it okay or is it a nightmare so far?
It's been great. Jeff Fisher has been through this, moving the Oilers to Tennessee and then becoming the Titans. So he's kind of used to being, I guess, detached from normalcy of the NFL. So, no, they've done a great job with the players. They all have that temporary housing, not more than 10 minutes away from the facility. If you can afford it, guys are already starting to buy houses. And, it's a little bit different. I mean, there's going to be a commute to get to where you're going. But like you said, man, you're on the coast. It's the land of perpetual sunshine. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, things could be worse. But Jeff Fisher and gang, they've done a great job by the players. Now, the staff, all the support crew, they haven't had a chance to do anything yet. So all those people deserve a medal.
Hey, DeMarco, you're in a very unique situation because in '94 you were with the then Los Angeles Rams, and then they moved to St. Louis, and now you're on the broadcast side as they move back to Los Angeles. What is L.A. like as a football town or professional football town? We know what it's like for college football. It's second to none. But what's it like for the pros?
Well, when I came in, I mean, I was a rookie in '94, and remember your rookie year. You don't know what you don't know. So I'm just trying to stick. I'm just trying to make a football team and trying to wrap my head around being a professional athlete. So I really didn't get to understand, or I didn't understand that much in 1994. But I did realize when we took the field for our first home game, I'm like, wow, there's no one here. There's 25,000, maybe less. So what happened to the NFL dream that I used to think about? So as I get older and go through my rookie year, we get into that first off season. We get these itineraries, and it only says one minicamp. And then the next one we get says St. Louis, Missouri. Whoa, are we moving? Well, as players, you have no idea and you have no say. All you're trying to do is become a better football player. So 1 minute we're in Los Angeles, the next minute we're training in St. Louis, and that's just the way things are. So, but I'll tell you this. There are a lot of L.A. Rams fans here that never gave up hope on the football team, never gave up hope that possibly the team could return home. So I'm seeing both sides, man. I mean, it's painful in St. Louis right now. I have a lot of friends there. I have a lot of ex-friends there. When they found out that I went back to L.A. and I'm actually still working for the team, I mean, some people just kind of wrote you off. I mean, Stan Kroenke's the enemy. The Rams are the enemy, and if you're with them, you're part of the enemy. So I get it, man. It's painful on both sides. But as players, there's not much we can do about teams moving. That's beyond us. That's beyond our job description, so you just have to get along with it. But seeing these people here, seeing them with L.A. Rams gear, seeing the Coliseum decked out in L.A. Rams, colors and all that sort of stuff, and seeing those people go berserk again. I mean, older people. I mean, I'm talking 70s and 80s that are crying that never thought they would see the L.A. Rams again, and then to see them run out in the field and beat the Cowboys in a preseason game. It's been amazing to watch. It's sad on one end, but it's been amazing on this end to watch.
All right, I don't want to be overly cynical here, DeMarco, but there is a reason, and there's a couple of reasons, but they did leave L.A. at one point. So as much as there's an infusion of energy now, and some of the old fans have obviously come back, and there's enthusiasm, what prevents apathy from setting in if they go 6-10 or 7-9, and there's 2 or 3 years of average play? Why is it going to be different this time?
Well, this is crazy. I mean, so this is preseason game number 1, and we've all been through an NFL preseason before. I mean, they don't count. They matter, but they don't count. But the Rams beating the Cowboys, the Coliseum, the L.A. Rams fans, they treated it like the Super Bowl. So I told Les Snead, I told Jeff Fisher, I told Kevin Demoff, all the guys, because they were excited. I mean, listening to the crowd go berserk in a preseason game. I said, man, can you imagine if you guys actually qualify for the playoffs and make the Super Bowl? It's going to be nuts around here. But the one thing that we know that you can't be in Los Angeles is average or below average. I mean, they will just turn on you. There's too much to do. Disneyland, the beach, just no one wants to be associated with a team that's not winning. So I think they know what the job is out here and what it entails. You have to keep winning. You have to keep that buzz going. You don't get a chance to let it drop. You can't have a 2007, 2008, 2009 season where you're winning, 7 games total in 3 seasons, or it's going to be bad news. You're going to have to contend for a playoff spot year in and year out. You have to accept that as a player and as a coaching staff. So I think they're getting that across to the players. I think the coaching staff understands that and what they're doing. So everybody has to up their game now.
All right, DeMarco Farr with us here, Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. DeMarco played in L.A. with the Rams before they went to St. Louis, and he's part of the broadcast team. He's with us here on Tiki and Tierney.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure on the players, man. Hey, don't worry about keeping your job. Worry about keeping your job, but also worry about the bottom line, because if we don't win, we're all in trouble out here. Speaking of the talent and how they're going to win, Jared Goff, we all know the situation with him. He's a skinny kid. He's got a little banged up in his first preseason action. But he's a little protected because of Todd Gurley at the running back position. Do we see Goff this year, or will this be a delayed project with him?
Goff got blasted against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He came back. I mean, he took an NFL shot, a major league shot, and came back. I mean, someday he's going to have to play through those little nicks and bruises and whatnot. But preseason, it's his first deal, so pull him out and let Sean Mannion finish the deal. But Case Keenum right now is the starter. He's the guy that finished the year last year, and the offense kind of came to life when he was under center. And it made a lot of people wonder what would have happened had Case Keenum been the starter week one. Nick Foles, that whole experiment was a bust. It was a disaster. I've never seen a quarterback play as bad as Nick Foles did early. And I'm not trying to, shoot the guy down or kick him when he's down, but it's just true. I've never seen a quarterback play that bad. So the way Case Keenum finished up last season, 2015, he has a chance to start in 2016. But Goff is going to be the guy at some point. Now, that all depends on what the offense is doing with Case Keenum. If he's winning, they're producing, they're scoring points like you guys mentioned before I came on, then I would think that Goff would sit and wait as long as possible. But if the offense goes stagnant, they're not scoring, the defense is out there for 85, 90 snaps a game, and they start to wear down, you're going to start to hear those cries for Jared Goff. But spread quarterbacks take a while in the National Football League. It's a project. It's like taking a spread left tackle from Baylor, who's only been in the two-point stance for 4 years, and teaching him how to be in a pro system where you're going to have to get down in the three-point and root these guys out. Well, for quarterbacks, the one thing you don't care about in college is protection. Well, in the NFL, it's the complete opposite. You got to know who's unblocked, and you have to know the plays. You have to be able to communicate those plays effectively to your offense and then read a defense. There's a lot to it. So the longer you can sit him out until he's ready, the better. But that all depends on what Case Keenum is doing in front of him.
DeMarco, you got to help me out with something here. DeMarco Farr with us here on Tiki and Tierney. 7-8-1, 7-9, 6-10, 7-9. All right. Not to mention 2 sub-500 seasons before that with Tennessee. Jeff Fisher has not had a winning season since 2008. And now we're hearing, and I like Jeff's demeanor, I really do, but the guy doesn't win. Like, why are they talking contract extension? Why?
He
hasn't earned it.
He runs an antiquated system, or the way he thinks about football is the same way Pete Carroll thinks about football.
Yeah, but Pete Carroll wins.
Defense first, but, and this is the comparison, or this is where the comparison stops. Who's Pete Carroll lining up at quarterback? Russell Wilson. I mean, he's got a guy that's on the ascent to become elite. Now, Jeff Fisher threw everything he had behind Sam Bradford when he took the job. They thought Sam Bradford was going to be able to open up the offense, throw the ball around the yard, have the same ascension on his way to becoming that sort of elite quarterback. Well, we all know about Sam Bradford and what he does to a football team when he gets hurt. So Jeff Fisher, since he's been in St. Louis, has been scrambling at quarterback because once Sam went down, I think it was give him hell with Kellen Clemens, give him hell with Kell. Then it was move the pill with Sean Hill. I mean, it's been patchwork. But around all that, when you're overmatched every single Sunday, for the most part, at the quarterback position, to be able to come up with just under, one game under 500 has been a miracle.
Well, develop DeMarco.
I've called every single game. I'm not trying to defend the guy.
No, I got you.
I've called every single game since Jeff Fisher has been a head coach of the St. Louis Rams and the LA Rams. And I'm telling you, every single game, save for the London debacle, Cincinnati last year, they've been in every single one of these games. They had a chance to win, and they failed. They blew it. They missed it. But I'll tell you this, every single Sunday, the other team had the better quarterback for the most part.
Well, how about this? Develop a quarterback. Yeah. Can you do that at some point?
Easier said than done.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Every team does it but the Rams.
Well, I think this is where they are now. Look, the Sam Bradford situation, it is what it is. You tried to get Nick Foles. That didn't work out. I mean, I'm telling you, I've never seen a guy play worse at quarterback than Nick Foles did the first couple of games he was a starter here. Well, now you have Jared Goff. Now you have – and this is what I'm trying to tell people when they ask me, why isn't he starting week one? You moved up to get this guy. Well, it's not about that. What you want is the best – lump of clay you can find, the best prospect you can find at quarterback, and then train that guy to be a professional.
Yeah, you hope so.
So you have that now. Now you have a situation where you get to devote some resources to the quarterback position. Sean Mannion, they drafted a couple of years ago, has had nothing but practice reps. He's going to be groomed to be the backup. Once Jared Goff takes over and becomes the starter, as a high-round draft choice with Mannion being behind him, I think that quarterback position for the Rams will be solidified.
Yeah, well, good luck with that one. Never want to elevate the savior. We all know what happens when you elevate the savior. You know, we're short on time here. But what's Hard Knocks like? Give us in about 20 seconds. What's Hard Knocks like for this team? Because we're getting exposed to some of the characters and the characteristics of the coaches and players.
It's weird, man. I'm out there every day, and they're finding stuff that I don't see. But for the most part, they've been non-existent. You don't even know they're there. You're having a conversation about football, about linebacking, about whatever, and then you look up and there's a boom mic over your head, and there's a camera sitting there, and you didn't even notice it.